we have a few definitions here. Human groups are clusters of individuals that are together. That's a basic definition. And of course, we're talking about human groups. You can have a group of things and animals and all that, but we're just referring to our type of groups. So it's just a cluster of individuals that are hanging out together. That's one way of seeing groups, and that kind of fits the definition that you guys had in this table. Groups also form when members realize they are in the same boat. Talking about we are sharing something in common. So it's not just to hang out, but we are hanging out because there is a reason, there is a purpose. This definition also gets my attention because I'm thinking about the church, little c. How many times we gather, let's say on a Sunday morning to worship, and you can pretty much feel in the meeting how many really feel that they are part of a larger group in that room, and how many are doing this in a very isolated way, very disconnected from the rest, as if we don't have something in common that we share. And that may be intentional. My guess is that is mostly unintentional. Nobody comes to church thinking, I'm just going to do my thing, have my place in that room, and nobody's going to take it from me, and I'm going to just do my thing, go through it, and run away as soon as we are done. Well, some people actually do that, have that experience. So this definition will question that, because it seems as if they came because of the location and the different components that are part of the format of the time that is spent in that location, but not because of the other human beings that are also there with a purpose. So we are not in the same boat necessarily, although it's the same location. And then that person is probably missing the richness of being part of a group, because there is not necessarily interaction with the rest of people. But it's a way of thinking about group as well. And then we have this other one. The groups are units of two or more persons who come into contact for a purpose and who consider the contact meaningful. So you see, we are adding components to this. So we're still hanging out. It's a bunch of people, but not only that, we have a purpose. But not only that, that purpose and that gathering, that contacting with people, relating to people, has a meaning, is meaningful. It means something to me. It means something important. It has significance. And I think it's a very important piece to this, because we can, and we probably have experienced that for so long, we can be part of groups, even know people in those groups, say hi and all of that. But that doesn't necessarily mean that there is meaning to that group. I would probably even dare to say this in regards to some small groups in so many churches. That is the critical piece that makes a small group to stay versus groups that don't last that long. The fact that they find meaning, significance in gathering with those particular individuals, sharing that time. So when there is meaning to it, things change. Interestingly enough, that's one of the characteristics, people that study gang behavior, these many gangs that we have all over the world, that's one of the components, probably the most important piece of the reason why they continue to be a group. The fact, and they will say it, that they feel that they belong. They may say that they are still abused, they may not be doing anything good, but they have a sense of belonging to that group. It has meaning. It has meaning, and that's what will keep them into a gang. So meaning is important. Purpose is important, but that purpose has to be meaningful. We can go, all of us, to Africa with the purpose of serving a church in Africa or a specific community, but that may not be meaningful. Or the meaning that may have for me may be very different than the meaning that has for Johnny, who's also going to the same trip. Right? For me, it can mean an opportunity to get out of this place and see some other place and just feel some value. For Johnny, it can mean completely different. It's part of my calling. God called me to do this. So it's important that we have meaning in the process of becoming a group. Regroup, I believe, has a very particular and very specific purpose. And that's part of the mission of Regroup. And my hope, as I said last time, is that everyone understands what's the mission, what is it that we're doing, and why do we do it, and then that we can rescue some meaning out of that. There is some significance to do it.